Jeremy Oberstein is the proud uncle of Ariel, and even prouder knowing how nervous she was and how well she's done 22 years after he stood at the same podium reading the same Torah. Jeremy grew up at Adat Ariel, attending Hebrew school, singing, as he said to me, using the term loosely, in the rabbis' plays, was president of its USY chapter, and had the honor of serving as the first youth representative to the synagogue's board many years ago. He's worked in journalism and in politics, and most importantly, is the manager of the Adat Ariel softball team. In case you were wondering, we have several teams, and one of the things that binds them all together is they are absolutely nuts. Crazy, with Shugala Devar when it comes to softball, Anyway, and in fact, not anyway, but to prove how dedicated he is to the team, you want to know? On the morning of his wedding day last June, he played in the team's championship game. They lost 8-7 in extra innings. Luckily, Serena made him forget about all of that. It is a pleasure to share the bima with him this morning.
Hello, Shabbat Shalom. You come up here after hearing what everybody has said about the Parsha, and I feel like you've already heard everything. So thanks for sticking around, and I'm going to try to be a little interesting. But it is an honor to be here and to take part in this simcha. Ari, amazing job. As the first of your siblings/cousins, you have an important role in following the tradition of your parents, your uncles, your aunt, grandparents, and so on. You are part of a custom that stretches back for thousands of years and is enmeshed in our community and the zaniness of our family. As you can all see, our family travels in packs. We read Torah together, we celebrate holidays together, and we help each other through major and minor life moments. Recently, me and my wife, Serena, moved into a new home and could not have done so without the help of our families. We realized the American dream last December, quickly knowing that the rest of our lives will be spent paying for our house. Actually, our home is everything we wanted it to be. Our neighbors are warm, our community feels cohesive, and the trappings of home ownership offer a unique sense of pride. The feeling of buying and helping to build something that is your own is perhaps the greatest effect of entering home ownership. It took us months to find the perfect place, and it's taking us months to make our house into a home in a city we love within a community to which we are growing close. Together, we are building a future that was started by four walls and a foundation, a future that was vested to us by generations before, but within a present that is very much ours to construct. And whether it's putting up new shelves or making sure that all bills are paid, one thing is constantly reinforced: details matter. That, I believe, is one of the most important lessons of this week's Parsha, Truma. In it, God offers an exhaustive set of instructions to build the Holy Ark, ensuring every detail is met and every piece of acacia wood is measured correctly. From beginning to end, God describes in painstaking detail the portable sanctuary, the Mishkan, that will house God's Spirit and offer guidance to the Israelites through the desert. Reading this Parsha, it's clear: IKEA has nothing on us. But while Truma seems like a laundry list of instructions, one can also glean the metaphorical balance of our culture that started in a garden, wandered through a desert, and continues right here today. Judaism teaches us that a life best lived is one defined by purpose. I work a job I believe in because I know no other option. I have relationships with loved ones, friends, and others because they give me meaning and hope and a sense of order in a world sometimes lacking clarity. Many of us give back in ways above and beyond our parameters of time and energy. My parents are on 27 boards, or so it seems. My siblings redefine selflessness, and our community teaches us that the highest level of tzedakah is not expecting anything in return. Ari, this is our community, and I'm so excited to continue sharing that with you. But how did we come to this? What building blocks of our lives help set in motion a community of purpose? Some of the answers lie in Truma. where God said that it's not merely important that you build a traveling sanctuary of faith, but the details of how you build count just as much. What we put into our lives defines a life worth living. While the details in the Parsha are fairly explicit, 2.5 cubits long, a cubit and a half wide, a cubit and a half high, and so on, the materials called for to build the Mishkan are supposed to represent the community. The sanctuary that is to be built is less a reflection of God, but of us. In the beginning of the Parsha, God asks for gifts, things of value and bits that can be parted with. As one rabbi teaches us, we build the sanctuary out of our free will offerings, the gifts of our own hearts, and in return, God dwells not in a physical structure, no matter how beautiful it may be, but in us. The Mishkan, built by the Israelites thousands of years ago, is less a monument to a physical God as it is a reflection of the community. And that's the second lesson of this Parsha. Our Judaism is made up of things important to us, and what's important to us varies across the spectrum. Ari, you are now figuring out what aspects are important to your Jewish experience, and I hope they will only continue to grow as they did for me growing up. And when I found out through Camp Ramah and a trip to Israel that the most important Jewish experience for me was a mental journey through some of our most compelling historical periods and thought-provoking passages, I happen to be of the mindset that however you build your ark, it matters not, as long as you seek to intentionally build. Truma and our entire religion show us that details matter, and that what we put into something is what we get out of it, which is what makes us complete. God asks the Israelites to assemble each part of the Mishkan, quote, so that the tabernacle becomes one whole. That, I believe, is the final lesson of Truma. What we put into Judaism and our community is what allows us to not only keep our circle rounded, but ensure it continues to roll forward. Explicitly, Truma leaves no room for question. We know exactly how to build the Mishkan and with what materials. But implicitly, I think it asks a valuable question. What should go into our portable sanctuary of Judaism? Ari, you're only beginning to build yours, but I'll let you in on a little secret. It never stops. And that's the beauty of our faith. Each day, each year, each generation, we learn how to be more purposeful and exactly how to build a more perfect Mishkan for ourselves, our family, and our community. Mazel tov again, and thank you for allowing me to share in this special day. Thank you, Rabbi, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.